I see Lekha. The relevance of doing reliability is just to see whether your items are working together, at least if there is inter-item correlation. Because if they are not reliable, then remember your EFA will also give you very poor result. Okay, so that was just a very quick check to see if the items are working properly. Because remember, EFA is also working on inter-item correlation. Though this reliability you will not report. Remember, this reliability that you do before EFA, you will not report. You will report the reliability in your paper only after doing EFA and confirming that which items load onto which specific factor. You will report that reliability. So that relevance of yesterday's reliability was just to check very quickly whether the items are working properly or not. There is inter-item correlation. Because if they give you poor result at the reliability test, preliminary test, your EFA test will also be very, very uh, surprising actually. You will not get good result. Dharmesh, 10 questions are positive, but remember, you have extracted latent factor and uh, now the item is loading onto one factor. So the remaining, whatever is remaining, okay. So let me show you the whiteboard very quickly here. This item loads onto factor 1, okay. This item I1 loads onto factor 1. So you will get a very high, you will get a positive correlation, lambda 1. Now the remaining part of I1, what is its correlation with F2? This loading can turn out to be negative because it is only the residual of I1. After accounting for F1, whatever is residual in I1, its correlation with F2 can be negative. So it is absolutely fine. Even though the items are positive, it is not necessary that you will have positive correlation. And remember, these are small correlations, so you will ignore them and say that my item belongs to factor 1. Remember, it is the correlation of residual with factor 2, right? And so on. Yes, Sheetal, it is possible you can give 5 factors, right? Because you are expecting that there will be 5 factors and see what happens. Okay. Jyoti, there is no such thing as minimum variance explained. Ideally, I would say that if you are doing factor analysis, anything above 50%, that means your factors are at least explaining half of the variance that is there in the items. Then you can say that I will like to go ahead with my factors. So the total variance explained should be anywhere upwards of 50%, right? And as all rule go, as high as possible, but at least you should see that the extracted variance should be more than 50%. Okay. You take items from established scales, Vishweshwar, but you see cross loadings, that is fine. You will have to, if the cross loadings are very substantial, if they are very high cross loadings, then you will have to drop those items. Even if you have taken them from established sources, remember it is how your respondents are responding to the items. So it can go, even though you think this is a good item, your respondents are not responding to it as. So either you will have to change the wordings and recollect the data and reanalyze, or you consider it as a poor item and drop it. There is no other option. Right. So I think we are done in terms of the mm, factor analysis. These are some of the things that you should keep in mind. Okay. And the last thing